Mm, Hi and good night. My partners and me, we are going to talk about some experiences that we are having during our experiences about practice. Okay, so there are some questions about experience. The first one: did you perceive that the teacher playing every class, or he or she rather improves in the session? Is that planning or improvisation physical or not? Explain why. The second one is what pedagogical skills do you highlight of the English teacher? The next one, uh, what were the general attitudes of students towards the English class, their teacher and classmates? What do you think of that happened? The next one, do you consider students learn thanks to the teacher's skill? Why or why not? Will you change anything in the teacher's attitude? What and why? In the case that the students are not very fluent in English, what do you think that happens? And the last one will be, which skill does the teacher encourage the most in the students? Writing, speaking, listening, reading. Why do you think he's focused mostly on that or those particular skills and not in all of them? Okay, so uh, I'm going to start with the first one question about did you decide that the teacher planning every class or he or she was referring to the session? Is that planning or improvisation successful or not? Explain why. Okay. Uh, for my perspective, I think that the teacher is playing teacher playing very every class with time and the guides and the support to carry out the class. In the guide, usually there are a lot of exercise according to the text and the topic explained about the pedagogical skills and I highlight of the English teacher. I think that by the virtual methodology, there are some games to motivate learners to participate. For example, they usually like to be active showing emojis through the chat meeting, and according to the teacher question or the topic. Maybe sometimes show an object proposed for the teacher to the camera. This type of games help to escape from the classroom interest. About the general attitude of students towards English class. Usually learners love to participate. They are always asking for how to say this or that, or how do you pronounce this. They always show interest in the class. I think it happens because they are children. In childhood, they ask you for art in the environment, and their minds is taking information about the world for the growth. About do you consider students learn thanks to the teacher? I think that yes, teacher put a big effort to achieve the competence proposed by the guide, and she always pay attention about what is going on or what a student expects or something like that. About change anything in the teacher attitude, uh, I think not. Wouldn't change anything about teacher attitude. I think it's a good way how to explain the class. And she sometimes have problems with technology, but she really does a good job. And about in the class that the students are not very fluent in English. Why do you think that happens? Oh, okay. For this question, I think that because they are children, yes? Oh, okay, in my case, I work in a group, in the first group. They are just 5 and 7 years old. So teacher usually put videos and recording to get better and the listening and speaking skills. By the last one question about which skills does the teacher encourage the most in students? Writing, speaking, listening, and reading. I have been watching about the teacher put principal attention on listening skills. I asking for I asking her about why, and she told me that it's because she thinks that they need to understand the words for productive materials like text, sentence, and word. So this is my experience about my practice observation. Uh, Now my partner Jimena is going to talk about the hero experience.
Um, I introduce myself. My name is Maria Jimena Leon. Um, the number one question, the teacher prepared this class very well. We were successful and his students felt satisfied with what they learning in the laboratory. In this class, the laboratory, I am the topics to be discussed were my daily routine and my personal presentation. Um, the students, um, I was able to observe that they both attended the class were between 17 and 36 years old. Um, At the end of session, the students comment on what they had learning, and his comments were very positive. The second, what pedagogic skill do you help of the English teacher? He used to have the ability to express himself very well and about again into confidence that some students did not have in themselves. The number three, what were the general activities of the students to the English class? Dear teacher, the, the ability is during my observation the practices, I was able to observe that the student will attend those laboratories were being and with the student activity practice in the activity of listen, speaking, and reading. Answering questions, source, advice, your name, what is your nationality, and what time do you care? The number three, the teacher me the experience for a laboratory in each for the class. The teacher around the interested and motivation of a student was side. They were not happy, giving them the confidence they need to full achieve the objectives set for these students. The number six. As I say, the student at the end of the laboratory felt very satisfied because the teacher completed of the aspect of its students. Ya, la compañera Leslie, coméntale.
Me. Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Natalia Flores, and today I'm going to discuss with you, yes, the questions proposed by the teacher on the guide in order to evidence my practical observation. So, as my classmates mentioned before, um, the questions I didn't going to read again. So referring to the first one, I'm going to say that um, during my observation practice, I can appreciate or I can notice that the teacher prepare every class, yes, with time, because once she starts to explain the students the activities they will going to do during the class, the whole class, she starts with a greetings like, hello, good afternoon, how are you? Yes, today we are going to work this topic. Yes, and she number each activity. For example, when she explained the present continuous tense, she explained to the students that they are going to do, first of all, to watch a video, yes, and then they were to to uh, to study the grammar in order to understand the topic, and then they were to develop different activities like complete sentence, write sentence, or talk about things at using the present continuous tense. So those kind of attitudes that teacher had during every class um, allow me to know that she prepares every class before give to the students. So mm, referring to the pedagogical skills that the teacher uses, I can notice that the one of she uses the most is to present videos. Yes, every class before once she greets the students, she start the class with a video. Yes, for example, if she is going to teaching the clothes, yes, clothes, she played a video about clothes. Yes, and if she is um, uh, teaching about present continuous tense, she played a video of present continuous tense, numbers, whatever the topic she presents to the students. And on the other hand, maybe she tries to give examples in a funny way. Yes, taking her as an example. For example, when in the class where she explained the verb to be, yes, she said, I am a teacher, and she did some like imitations in order to all the students understand if what was she talking about. Also, other 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 my goodness, other pedagogical skills is the guide. Yes, she present videos, but she always have different guides, different guides to 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 develop. Yes, for example, in the first part, always she has to put the verbs into the present continuous tense. Then she has an activity for complete the sentence, and some pictures about actions, but in ing. Yes, like skiing, cooking. Yes, a person preparing a hamburger, she is cooking. So a boy with a book, he is reading, something like that. Referring to the third question, the students. Okay, in the school that I did my practice observation, the teacher have two kinds of students. Ones that attend class in a presential way, and ones that do it online. So that I could say is that I can notice that students that attend class in an online way really, oh my God, really, uh, really, really have a good attitude toward the class. Yes, because they were really participative. Yes, they all the time was answering what teacher asked and asking if they don't understand something. So I can say that all students were really participative. So on the other hand, sometimes on the camera, I can appreciate students that were in a presential way, yes, at school, and they do the same. For example, if the students didn't understand something, they call to the teacher, and she went to them and explain again. So in conclusion, I can say that all students are really participative, and and were really have a really good active toward the class. Yes, and maybe this happens because the teacher has a good attitude toward students. Yes, why? Because when they get confused or they have a doubt and they ask to her, she didn't uh, reply in a bad way, but also she explained again and is really passionate. Yes. So referring to the fourth question, I consider that students really learned why they what they need to learn. Yes, because the teacher prepares the class, have the passion, explain the grammar, was attentive to the requests of their students. So with that kind of attitudes, I can notice that they really learn by heart all the topics they study. So why can I say that? Because on the other classes, when the teacher asks about, do you remember the last topic we studied? That's the students, when she asks about a topic in a specific topic, or do a question at using the vocabulary or the topic studied, students really answer in a good way. So now we have to the fifth question. I don't think that we have to change anything of teacher, because she have a good attitude. She prepares class. She was all the time focused, and that the students could learn and could do everything. So I consider that she has good strategies, and does his work in a good way, so she has good skills as a teacher. So I consider I didn't change, I will didn't change anything um, to this teacher. Number 6. Okay, referring to the sixth, sixth question, I consider that English, these students are in fluently because they are a student of 4th degree. Yes, they didn't have a vast knowledge about vocabulary, so they didn't express her thought appropriate. They need to learn more. Yes, they need to feel confident, self-confidence, because they are also starting to know to put in contact with the language, but they are doing well. The teacher always try to explain them how to pronounce things, how to write the correct grammar, the correct structures. Yes, but I think it's because they are really young and they didn't have a vast knowledge about vocabulary that they can't express in a fluently way, but they tried and did their best. And the last question is, well, I consider the teacher work all the skills, yes, listening, writing, reading, and speaking. But once that I could notice is that she focuses her attention in and speaking and writing. Yes, why? Because most of the time when he explains a topic, he focuses that their students learn by heart the good pronunciation of each uh, word. Yes, they have a good pronunciation. For example, if they were studying the clothes and a student say, I have choice. She say, okay, wait a minute. You can pronounce that word in that way. The correct way to pronounce that word is shoes. Yes, she focuses on pronunciation, and on the other hand, when she explains a topic, she focuses on writing, on the structures and the correct writing of each word or sentence. So that's what I could appreciate and my observational practice. So now I'm going to give pass to my classmate Leslie. Thank you.
Okay, good evening. I am Leslie, and today I'm going to talk about observation practice progress. Okay, the questions number 1. According to the questions, I consider that the classes were organized and planned with the necessary time since the teacher, the guides and activities that were used in the class process were dynamic and well planned, as well as the explanations expresses the teacher to his students. Okay, and now the pedagogical skills that the English teacher shared with her students. Among her was the handling of English and the way in which she explained the topics to her students. Her relationships and her support was always necessary. Example in a new topic, explain of course in English. Some students did not understand or it was difficult for them to understand it. The teacher shared images or pictures or examples that were easy for them to appropriate the subject. The questions number 3.
Okay, the questions number 3, according to what you can observe in the practice, I think that the attitudes of both the students and the teacher were one of liking and trust for the subject. The teacher always shared her knowledge with her students with humor and good energy, and this his students felt for this they practice and participate and felt safe learning in the classroom. The question number 4 is, of course, definitely the skills of the teacher were very supportive within the learning process for the students. Since, as we know, students need to feel listened to and supported by their tutor, so that trust flows within the classroom as meaningful learning. And number 5, and regarding the process that the teacher managed in each class, I think nothing will change since her methods and strategies were very supportive to me to learn and to appropriate more of my pedagogical practice. In addition to the student-teacher relationship that she manages, it is very important within the process as well. The question number 6, for children, it is difficult to learn this language since they do not have knowledge of the extensive vocabulary that exists, as well as the grammar and rules of English. This makes it difficult for them since they are young children, and it would be a lot of information to process, taking into account not that his mother language in another. And the last question, um, children tend to be interested in everything they do not know. In this sense, when they see the teacher speaking and explaining a subject and a language that is unknown to them, they feel very curious to learn it. In this process, the role of the teacher is since it is he who generates interest in each of them. Okay, no more. Thank you.
That's all for today. Thanks for your attention. Bye bye.